Keep it going for Kaiser. Keep it going for all y'all, but not them. So I am a Helena native. I always like to say I was born on Rodney Street, which is not entirely true. I was born in St. John's Hospital on Rodney Street. But it's not beyond the realm of possibility that a baby has been born on Rodney Street. I know that this event at Gold Rush Days was, sort of tie into the Vigilante Parade, right? Helena natives, right? Vigilante Parade. Okay, I always want to start my visit to Helena with a Vigilante Parade story. Now, this is not my story. This is a story that was relayed to me by my dear friend John, and it involves the late great John Prine. John Prine was in Helena doing a show, I believe, at the Civic Center, and he happened to be here on Vigilante Parade Day. And he ended up in downtown Helena watching the Vigilante Parade. We're all nodding, right? And when I do that, so we're watching the Vigilante Parade. The first float goes by of like a brothel. Populated by 15-year-old girls. And then a Unabomber float. And then some depiction of a hanging. Another saloon girl brothel float. Another Unabomber float. Another depiction of a hanging. And John Prine turned to his friend, his bandmate, whoever he was with, and was like, man, this is one fucked up parade. Now, so I don't know how, I am 58. This is my 40th class reunion this year. I'm a stand-up comedian. I was voted most likely to succeed. But we also did this thing, and you guys, let me know if you remember this. I can't believe it when I say it out loud. We did a slave auction. Okay, no, the youngsters are aghast. So what it was like if you were like a junior, you could like buy a freshman to carry your books for like a day. I mean, it was bad. But it wasn't as bad as you think. But I don't think they do that part anymore. But I still can't get over that they still call it the Vigilante Parade. The parade is just so funny to me. Yeah, it's so funny to me. Yeah. So folks, actually, I was actually almost late getting here tonight. I was just sitting on the couch. I was just sort of paralyzed. Like, I just couldn't, I'm just flummoxed. I'm perplexed. And the thing that is really just stuck with me is the preponderance, the popularity of full body deodorant. Right? Well, no, that was not into you. But like, there are so many ads for full body deodorant. And I'm just sort of like for starters, I solved that smelly shin problem I had. But then, are we smellier than we used to be? I don't know. And here's my other thing. If we're so smelly head to toe, why is it that for decades, nay, centuries, the initial default location for deodorant was your underarms? Chew on that one for a second, right? If we're so smelly, why did we do this? I don't know, I just don't know. And then I love like the companies and the ads, like the way they don't want to say like butt crack or like under boob. So they say all these weird things, I have 72 hours of freshness in my special places or whatever. But then, my other question is, like, if you use the full body deodorant, like, is it the same applicator? Or is it like a spray? If anybody wants to chat after the show, I don't know. So you can tell I almost didn't make it here tonight. Yeah. So you guys, I am 58 years old. Clap for that. have, this is really interesting, we had, like they had the gal come, the financial planner person come, because you talk about like the retirement plan and the employee match and all that kind of stuff. Okay, y'all, I'm a 58-year-old stand-up comedian. Financial planning is not my strong suit. So she says, she goes, now listen, here's what is not legitimate planning for retirement. Dying early or working until you're 96. And I'm in the back row using my hand. But you guys, I have it figured out. I have it figured out. I have my retirement planning figured out. Do you want to hear about it? I'm so excited. It's basically 3 words. Shake a day. Think about it. There are so many days. And I live in Missoula. Like I said, I'm from Helena, but I live in Missoula. There are so many bars. Right? Sidebar, a buddy of mine he was actually raised in Great Falls. I say with disdain. We're really picking on Great Falls tonight. We ended up at a bar in Missoula, and before we left, I said to the bartender, like, oh, we're going to do shake a day. And so I gave the bartender the dollars, And my buddy, his name's John, he turned to me, he goes, what is this? I said, what is this? What kind of Montanan are you? It's shake a day. Yeah. So you guys, I traveled a little bit this spring, sort of unexpectedly, but I ended up going out to the East Coast. And now this is not unique to women, but ladies, back me up on this. So I took a trip that was like 5 days. So I left on Thursday, I got back on Monday. So 5 days. I brought 27 pairs of underwear. Right? Sidebar, I don't know why they're called pairs, but we'll talk about that later. But I always think like, why am I bringing? I'm here this weekend. I'm here, my dad lives here in town still. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna see my dad. I'll be in town for like 18 hours. 6 pairs of underwear. Yeah. And people can be like, well, women, so many underwear. But people, one thing I want you to think about. Those astronauts, they thought they were going for like 8 days. Right? And the woman's like, oh, I brought 26 times as many underwear. I don't know that you need to wear underwear in space, but that's a whole other show. That's another show as well. So, folks, I am a 58-year-old woman who lives in western Montana. Can you all guess what I drive? I drive a Subaru! I drive a Subaru Outback. Can you guess what color it is? Green! It's green! I drive a green Subaru Outback, and at least once a week I try to get in somebody else's. And it happened to me. I parked at this sandwich shop and I watched this woman walk right out to my car. I said, no, that is your green Subaru over there. Now this is not unique again to women, but ladies, back me up on this. And some of the women in the room, you can tell, when you reach a certain age, 40s, 50s, you reach a certain age, you go to this special place in western Montana, and they give you a Subaru. Depending on your situation, they might throw in a yellow lab named Maggie. A child. I told that joke one time at a bar in Missoula, and I finished my set, and I told it, and this one table just lost their minds. And I finished my set, I walked past the table to go get a drink, and they were like, we have a yellow lab named Maggie. But here's the other thing, so my car was hit in downtown Missoula. Okay, it was parked in front of Charlie B's. That is a conversation for another day. But my car was hit and run in downtown Missoula, and so like the good Girl Scout I am, I called the police station to do the accident report. And so I called and I said, my car's been hit and run, and she said, well, what's the make and model? And I chuckled, and I said, it's a Subaru Outback. No joke. The dispatcher goes, what color? Green?